Guess my Pokemon are restored. You're gonna be content when I hit you with my 15-hit combo. No! Your alarm is going off. I'll probably play until the point that it tells me farm for 70k. And then call it. And then that's probably gonna be it for Pokemon Legends ZA until I start multitasking, is my current plan. Makes sense to me. This DLC grind makes me love the grinding in Legends Arceus. Yeah, if anything could make you love that, it would be the grinding in this game, because who boy. Alright, team. Time to finally make Ansha's dream become reality. Yeah, so that's the post-game there. Where should we look? That's the question, isn't it? It's no good sitting around waiting for hyperspace distortions to form. Yes, we must do more than wait. I must ask that you please do everything you can to find that fine legendary Pokemon. Okay, it's probably really not spoilery to say the true final boss is Mega Rayquaza. Because of course it'd be after, like, the additional Megas and stuff that were done with, like, Auras. The 70k legendaries that you go after are Primal, Kyogre, and Groudon. And then after you've gotten them, the game expects you to do 100k and then go after Rayquaza. What a surprise. What's a Gulpin doing here? Truly, Gulpin these nuts. You know, usually I don't think those kinds of jokes are funny, but if you literally set your own self up for it, it is a little bit. We will, Ansha. But maybe it'll feel more like a real job if we make it official. Your original request was for us to help you make a donut, right? This is kinda on a whole new level. We even accept requests from team members? Why wouldn't we? I'll ask Floridance to lend a hand if I had a problem. Or I'd ask Floridance to lend a hand if I had a problem. Ansha should too. That sounds perfectly reasonable. I shall make a formal request of it. Please, catch that fine legendary Pokemon. I've literally already caught 2 legendary Pokemon during this DLC. I almost said Pokemons for whatever reason. Hyperspace Mission 12, the greatest gift. But I guess they don't want Heatran or Darkrai. Those ones aren't cool enough. I'd be happy to take your request, Ansha. Would we? Yeah, if only we had any leads. Well, nope. Main story of the game turned out to be Darkrai. And then Ansha's request is post-game. Should we ask you-know-who? Well, post-game. It still feels main story-like. But you know how they handle the progression with these things. I'm sorry. Why aren't we saying his name now? Well, you know what happens. Look, Corbo's our leading hyperspace Lumiose expert. We need to involve him sooner or later. Why don't we head to his office before he has a chance to call us first? You all have fun. I don't think we all need a barge in together, so I'll hang back and get some training in. Well, yep, Rayquaza. I still have the Mega Rayquaza as my main 3DS theme. Nice. That might be a Lancerism being forced onto you like a disease. I say Mons, you say Pokemon, so it came out as both. Yeah, that's the reason why then. Speaking of research, I probably have some stuff unlocked here. I could give Lumina that Iron Tail and it might be kind of cool. And fitting there. The hell does Darkrai have to do with the multiverse? It turns out the multiverse was just a bad nightmare. So I don't know how the hell that works when I catch Pokemon in the nightmare realm and bring them to here. Honestly, I have no idea how it works, but it's some weird thing with dreams or whatever the heck. Alright, let's go here. Rampant Mega Power detected. What is that silhouette even? Hyperspace Rogue Mega Arena. Guess those appear around. I think I had heard in post-game that you could, like, rematch some of the Rogue Mega Pokemon, both from main game and DLC. Maybe that's just what that is. Darkrai does have access to move across dimensions somehow. Apparently so. Keep up the good work for Lumiose. We will. Okay, by that logic, the Mega Dimensions should no longer exist, or worse, should be completely under your control. Yeah, Ansha was concerned about that too. Like, won't they no longer exist after we deal with that? And what the hell? And Corbo was like, you know what? I think because of how rampant it is, after we do the thing with the tower, they'll probably still exist for a little while, and you can probably still find that legendary Pokemon you want during that time. And that's the excuse or whatever the heck. Look who it is. Funny, I was just about to call. Listen, while we were searching for Darkrai, we detected some odd readings in 2 other places. These readings led us to a distinctive pair of brightly hued hyperspace distortions. We started referring to them by their colors, the ruby distortion and the sapphire distortion. We thought reaching out to Mademoiselle Ansha might be a good first step to learning more. Your encounter with a legendary Pokemon on Hyperspace Lumiose kickstarted this wild ride. It did? I thought Darkrai kickstarted this wild ride, essentially. Maybe telling us more will unearth a clue about how to approach these colorful new distortions. Alright, I'll share what I can. Look who it is. Ruby and Sapphire! I wonder who it could be! Now it's time for me to do my Auras playthrough before continuing with this. Then we're fully caught up. And that's the whole story. Very interesting. For sure. I can just about guarantee that the Pokemon you're after is called Rayquaza. Or Rayquaza, depending on how you prefer. Your description of it matches one I heard a long time ago. We should have figured you'd know it. Well, see, there was this one fellow who took care of me when I was just a little runt. He was the boss of an organization from Kanto who just happened to visit Lumiose. He knew a lot about the myths and legends of the Johto and Hoenn regions. Wait, what is it? Are we talking about, like, the Rayquaza from the Hoenn region? What, you think there are other Rayquaza flying around out there? I mean, not really. I'm just surprised. Look, I'm just telling you what I heard. Keep in mind, it's all secondhand info from years ago. Actually, you could probably tell us more about Rayquaza yourself. You're from Hoenn, yeah? Oh, yeah, I am. Sure. Back in Hoenn, we've got these old legends. I'm talking real old. They tell of two legendary Pokemon. The first is Kyogre, maker of oceans. Then there's Groudon, maker of land. Kyogre and Groudon were locked in this fierce battle. Apparently, it was the legendary Pokemon Rayquaza that put a stop to the fighting. Right, Lita. How wonderful to find another Rayquaza enthusiast. We should swap notes later. Huh? I mean, sure, we can do that, I guess. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm pretty sure these new distortions are linked to Kyogre and Groudon. Dealing with those two might lead us to Rayquaza. According to our calculations, you'll need special donuts to reach the pockets of Hyperspace Lumiose in which Kyogre and Groudon dwell. Just like how you found Darkrai, eh? In that case, you know what you've got to do. Consider this your official survey request. Oh boy. Ah, but don't go yet. I forgot one thing. We've started picking up some distortions with rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon you've already battled and calmed before. Couldn't tell you why. Maybe it's your own subconscious memories influencing things. Anyway, these rogue Pokemon are dangerous, but beating them would yield lots of survey points. Rogue rematches in hyperspace. Certain hyperspace distortions newly appearing on your map can grant you a chance to battle rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon you've previously defeated. These rogue Pokemon boast extraordinary hyperspace levels, but defeating them will reward you with lots of survey points and rare valuable hyperspace berries. That's all from me. Good luck out there. Well, that debunks the rather ridiculous theory about there being multiple legendary Pokemon in the world. Let's continue to ask. Thank you for your assistance. Don't let us down. Yep. 70,000 points. Ooh, boy. I thought the quest was the Noivern for a second there. It is 2 in the morning. I'm starting to get pretty decently tired. What do we add on the print? I see the full face now. Where did I put my glasses here, underneath those magnets. We are at 70% done. I do kind of want to show the finished product on stream. I mean, the finished product will be after I print my custom cylinder. And then the tag for it, which I'll just do on my own time, I think, here. And then, I don't know, maybe I stream a little bit of this at Janlan. Like, before getting involved with XD Gale of Darkness, and I just, you know, get to showcase the finished trophy then. And then, maybe showcase what these are like there. That's not Heatran again, is it? So, like, I don't know. I don't know, man. But I don't know what to do dicking around here for the next little while. Well, it debunks the idea of multiple Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza specifically. Lugia has been depicted as having a baby, There are explicitly multiple Entei, and a clone of one of the Crown Dragon trio gets made in a Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and an event. What's the Crown Dragon trio? I haven't heard that term before, but I know that we get like a egg or whatever, or level 1 of Darkrai, Palkia, or Giratina, so I assume it's that trio there. I've just never heard them called the Crown Dragon trio. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I figured right then. I figured correct. Well, might have misheard. XD Gale of Darkness. Yeah, I've been meaning to do that for like several years now. Because several years ago, I played Pokemon Coliseum. And I've since then been meaning to do a playthrough of XD Gale of Darkness as well. And have that whole saga, you know, completed. See it all the way through. So I did Coliseum right around the end of my Scarlet and Violet playthrough. And I started playing it alongside Scarlet and Violet when I was going around collecting those stakes, because the animations were so long in Coliseum that I would just put in my inputs and be sitting for like the next minute. And I'd pick up my controller and go get some more stakes, and then, oh, I'm ready, it's ready for my next inputs. Pick up my GameCube controller, go ahead and type in like the next moves that I want to do. Pick up my Switch controller, go ahead and get some more stakes in Scarlet and Violet. Why, what a massive coincidence. Start a playthrough myself. Nice. So for years now, I've been meaning to do XD Gale of Darkness. I was going to start a playthrough last year, but I didn't get the chance. There wasn't room in my schedule. And now, it's like, huh, a super ultra boring grind right at the end that is just going to be super repetitive and awful, but I can do it like while I'm inputting moves in a different game? Also, the fact that, you know, February is coming up here, and there's almost certainly going to be a Pokemon Presents, and good chance of Gen 10 this year if the rumors are to be believed. So, if I'm going to do XD Gale of Darkness anytime this year, it better be sooner rather than later. Because if I do it later, then the next Pokemon thing is going to come out. So, if I do it sooner rather than later, it works out perfectly with doing it alongside grinding in this game, and doing it before the next Pokemon thing comes out. So I do really want to start XD Gale of Darkness really soon here. If I wasn't so tired, I'd be like, you know what, screw it! Let's start right now! But, you know, so there's that. Yeah, it might well be. Might well be, and I think they said that that XD was on the way as well. So yeah, I've been meaning to do it for a while, but those are the reasons why I want to do it like really soon here. I've spaced in my game schedule to actually put it on, like I'm not too cramped here, so yeah, I guess 3 reasons. It would go along super well with like grinding away in this game, and the whole fact that if I don't do it now, doing it later in the year might be too late, but with how quick they pump out games and stuff. So that's what I'm thinking here. That's my plan. Actually, might come later this year, but they'll probably be smart and space the releases out. Yeah, they probably will. I think I might be confusing Entei's lore with Heatran. Heatran's lore says that one exists for every volcano in existence. Oh, is that what it is for that then? So yeah, that's the plan here. I could... Hold on, what are we at here? 74%. I'm kind of done doing Legends ZA stuff tonight, but I'm not going to switch over to another game just for that. I want to keep it Pokemon related. I'm not going to start XD tonight. But you know what we can do? We could design a layout and stuff like that. Do I still have my Pokemon Coliseum layout? I wonder. I have my GameCube/Wii layout here. Like, we could get some things ready. I could make a nameplate for, like, the starting Eevee. I don't know what the good name for the starting Eevee would be. Like, I haven't really taken much time with, like, brainstorming ideas. And I have to look through, like, the Pokemon that you get in that game in what order, if there's, like, a specific type of Pokemon that I want to fill that starting Eevee into, or what exactly the deal should be. I'm not entirely sure. Do I still have my Coliseum layout here on GameCube/Wii? It's taking a long time to switch over, which tells me that it's loading like a lot of images and stuff. Don't crash OBS, please. Uh-oh. My stream manager just went dark. Did it break everything? Can you still hear me? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I was setting stuff up for like Janlan and things here with stuff. Why my stream manager crap out? I'm gonna refresh. Hopefully it didn't break anyone else's streams. Am I still good? I'm still good, it looks like. Phew. Phew. Alright. Yeah, so I had that all at the ready, just like some more Xenosaga stuff when I play Xenosaga Freaks. Did I use... Hold on. I used a specific layout for Coliseum. You can hear me? That's good. Can you still see me? Yeah, I have the Xenosaga layout, Dirge of Cerberus layout. I probably have it saved on a different section. Like a different scene collection on OBS. She was looking real zoomed in though, not the cams, but specifically the game. Yeah, because it's designed for 4x3, and like the capture card is just kind of there in the background, and it's whatever. Yeah, I don't have an XD Gale of Darkness layout set up. I'd have to refer back to Coliseum, because I remember I had like the whole like Pokeballs along the length here, and then the squished in chat. I worry that if I switch scene collections, it's going to immediately break the stream. I've never tried switching scene collections while streaming before. I've never had like separate scene collection until earlier this year when I thought it might fix some of my lag issues with OBS, and I didn't even do it. Also, as I was going to say earlier, I'm going to use Espeon, because if it's Espeon, I vote that we name it Reniel? Is that a reference to something there? Like, I would think most likely it would probably either be Vaporeon or Umbreon. So I would probably most lean towards. Moment of truth. Does this end the stream? Landwell Chronicles. Not familiar with it. Let's see if this ends my stream. We still going? Still a continuous stream? No going down? Looks like the last scene that I left off on this scene collection was the Fragapalooza tournament layout stuff. My hotkeys and stuff still work? Okay, heck yeah. Do I still have a specific layout for Pokemon Coliseum? I didn't delete it, I hope. This was a couple of years ago, so I might not have it. Hold on, playthrough 1, playthrough 2, PlayStation 1 and 2. Yeah, I did that for Final Fantasy 7. GameCube / Wii. Yeah, I had the Xenosaga one set up there. Same with like Dirge of Cerberus and Fragapalooza layout stuff. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Pokemon Platinum. I still have the layout for that. It's loading the complete wrong images, the complete wrong camera. It is so broken. Tournament Smash stuff. I don't think I have my Pokemon Coliseum layout anymore. I might need to actually just set one up from scratch, basically. Huh. Dang. Unfortunate. Let's switch scene collections back. Actually, if we go for Vaporeon, name it Flareon as a callback to Platinum. No. Not again. Once is enough. I don't know, Espeon's my favorite Pokemon, but we used the Johto duo in Coliseum. Why not give one of the Kanto trio a go? Yeah, we should mix it up. I think that's a good idea. Here, I'll save. 2 in the morning, man. Here, let's just dick around on my computer for the rest of this stream. So what we'll do, but we edit the bit to be Jolteon instead. We've already done the bit once, so I think we're good on the bit. Let's see here. I have it on my computer, right? So I'm not starting it right now, but like, we could have a look at like some layout idea stuff. That's what we can do. Let's just switch my category to just chatting or something like that. This is what we'll do. Probably have to plug in a controller. Just do this for now. Just make sure that things are working. Who knows? Maybe I'll start at Janland. Maybe I'll start the game at Janland there. It's probably not rigged to be like this controller. It's probably rigged to work with a GameCube controller. That's what it is. Do I have different controller setups? Port 1 standard controller. Oh yeah, GameCube controller. Just make sure that that's all working. I'll eventually use a GameCube controller when I actually play the game for real. Is my plan. Okay, well, it's advancing to here anyway. Be somewhat careful about Vaporeon nicknames. He's been through so much. Truly. Is this even properly cropped? There's a slight layer of black bar here, which, I don't know, could be fine, I guess. Yeah, so I have it here. I need to remind myself what my Coliseum layout looked like, because I think that the Coliseum layout actually worked pretty well. I just don't think I have it anymore. Is the unfortunate thing. Hold on. Adjust that a little bit. Playlists. Coliseum. Let's look up here. Pokemon Coliseum. It was a 48-part series. It looks like. Let's go to the final part. Oh. I did more battles after the main finale. Let's go to the finale part. That's what we'll do here. Whoops. I am changing what part I'm looking at. Trying to pause it, or trying to hit the mute thing, and all of a sudden it goes to the shifting what video you're on thing. Yeah, I did something unique. I did something specifically for it, was the thing. If I do display capture here, this is what I did. So if I get rid of that stuff, look at my stash. Ether, Ixel, Dave, Azurthoron, Sahara. Used a Vaporeon named Neptune before, but that name's a little generic. Yeah, a little smidge there. Funnily enough, did you know was one of the first name ideas that popped into my head when it comes to Vaporeon? What? Calling the Vaporeon, did you know? Maybe we went with Oasis because we're in a desert with a water type? Oh, maybe. Maybe then. But yeah, I did something like this. Yeah, decent bit of time has passed, huh? Those crappy filaments I've been showing this stream, they came in this box. And I still have them to this day. When was this published again? March 29th, 2023. Almost 3 years ago. Holy crap. So it really is time that I do this already. Yeah, I think this kind of works with, like, the vertical layout. Like, you get, like, the full game screen, what with, you know, it being a 4x3 game. And then I have the real estate over here to work with for everything else, unlike a 16x9 game like, you know, Pokemon Legends ZA, where I have to shrink the game down a little bit to get the things I want. But here with a 4x3 game, I can play around and do something like that. I might just, yeah. I might try to replicate this when the time comes. Ish. Or maybe do a bit of a different play on it. I don't know. It's being noisy, isn't it? I recognize some tunes there, though. XD001. Moltres. Are Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza in this game? They'd be kind of fitting to be doing with Mega Dimension stuff at the same time then. Her Obrianas are Flareon, Jolteon, Neptune, and Oasis. That is assuming we're going for specifically Vaporeon. Like 85%. Find out what Pokemon there are now, I guess. Pokemon XD obtainable Pokemon? Yeah, I figured that was options, but Oprianas is pretty funny. Let's see here. Here's a Cerebi page. Well, they've got stuff for the game keycard exclusive junk. So yeah, I assume that you generally get them in this order. Well, as with Coliseum, you can snag a... I don't know why I have the well. As with the Coliseum, you can snag a certain amount of Pokemon. They're Shadow Pokemon and require Purifying, and you can't see what the hell I'm reading. They're Shadow Pokemon and require Purifying. Here's a list of them in the order of catching with levels, trainer, and location. So yeah, you start out with the Eevee here. The starter, that is you. And then is there any Pokemon that I want to keep throughout the playthrough? Houndoom could be cool. Could just preemptively, like, plot out the team here or something. I remember that image you used in Coliseum had the XE protagonist that you cropped out. Yeah, and I used it for, like, the thumbnail of the starting out that saga, because it was with the intention of doing the whole thing through. So, like, that specific art that I used for the starting thumbnail, I can show it here in my Coliseum folder. This. It's kind of a cool art, actually. So, like, we could use the next part of the layout here. Like, just move the image over, and then it works, like, really thematically with the, with what I used with the Coliseum playthrough. Probably be a good idea. Spiel, my boy! We could get a water and ice type that way. But then would we really want to be using Vaporeon? Is the question. We should show the types here as well, just as a General reminder. Get grass type that way. Get a shift tree or something like that. Name Sveal Mabal. Mabal. Spinarak. Sharpedo's kind of cool. Oh, I could get a fire type with a Ninetales. That could be cool. I like that Pokemon. Houndoom gives me more type coverage and is kind of cool. And I've used Ninetales in a couple of my Pokemon playthroughs. Houndoom I haven't used, so like, do we do that or something like that? Sugar already took that one. What, other content creators can just claim them? You can't evolve into Roserade yet because this is Gen 3. You can only evolve into Piloswine. Game's being noisy right now, isn't it? Sure seems like... Yeah, exactly. This is around the part where I clicked onto it before, I think. XD! LMAO XD. I don't know much in the way of interesting Pokemon in this game. Game's still a little loud. I have Dolphin turned down so dang much. Growlithe, Arcanine. If only you could Mega Evolve them, huh? I wonder how long XD is. I don't remember. How long to beat Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness? 27 hours? How long to beat 35 hours? Main story plus sides. There's some decent ones early on. I don't know. There's that trio, and then... Oh, there's Lugia. AKA XD001. I had a bit of a funny feeling there. No Groudon, Kyogre, or Rayquaza, or anything like that. I don't know. Are we gonna plot out a team here? Longer than Coliseum, okay. So it might be like a 60-part series or something. If that was the case, then none of you guys are allowed to name Coughing Cucklord? Damn it! Maybe isn't always accurate. Yeah, I've definitely found that out. But I do kind of like planning out, like, how long is this gonna take me, generally speaking? In Tales of Xillia is 30 to 40 hours. I just started Act 3 of 4. What, like 30 to 40 hours in? Or however many hours you're in. I don't know. It's getting there. It's happening. We could literally... While we're just, like, burning time here, waiting for that thing to finish, we could literally just, like, plan out a team. EV to something. I guess this game doesn't give you legendaries early on. Let's say, potentially, Houndoom. And you're Fire Dark. And then say, maybe? Put you, here as, like, candidates. Water / ice. Plan out a potential team. Fucking shittily timed ad break 3 hours in. Gotcha. I don't mind Ampharos. Put you on this little maybe section. Just jot down the ones that I like that could be, cool. I don't know. That's what the stream is now. I'll make a layout on my own time. Sharpedo is cool. Got Travago. I don't know. Do like, Ninetales. I'll write you down just in case I decide not to go with Houndoom. Like, I get Dark with Sharpedo or something like that. There's an additional note if it helps applying the Shadow Pokemon, and this will all come with one move they can't learn elsewhere in Gen 3. Interesting. You want me to jot down Dusclops, but it feels bad when I know that it can't fully evolve. That Ampharos is indeed in this. That do be right. I think you're just pure steel back then. What are other kind of Pokemon that I like? Xatu maybe-ish? I don't know. You would have just become a Togetic. You could only be a Electabuzz and stuff. Who needs Dusknoir? Dusclops is a strong wall? I suppose so. I can put it on as a potential candidate here. Ghost. Pidgeot could be cool. Is Pidgeot normal flying or just flying? Yeah, you're normal flying. Get dual type that way. But, I don't know. Pidgeot could be okay. Normal / flying. I don't know. Or else Gardevoir is an option if you don't pick Espeon. You're right. You're right. I didn't even notice that. Gardevoir, that would just be like normal psychic here. Would be the case. Just a singular type. I don't know. What are other Pokemon that I semi-dig? Bayonet, man, I don't know. And this is all like a decent smidge later in the game. Chansey, it's Solrock so much later than Lunatone. I'll never be able to look at Starmie the same after Pokemon Legends ZA here. Swallow's alright. Are you normal flying as well? Yeah, you're normal flying as well. I don't know, Pidgeot or Swallow. Ones I could go for if I recall, Spearow might be worth it as it comes knowing False Swipe. Oh. Spearow? Does it know False Swipe? I can make some notes of things for me to look into. Like, between when I actually start. Starmie's really good, has a lot of coverage. I'm sure it probably does. Down Starmie as a maybe here. Starmie, you know, water / psychic. Something or other here. This is all pretty late into the game here now, I presume. Salamence is cool, but like, it's so late. Salamence. Dragon / flying, I'm fairly certain here. All those legendaries and stuff, and then I assume this is like some post-game ones. I mean, yeah, that makes options a little limited there, in a sense. Terra said if you want pre-Salamence Dragon, that's true. I think that you're the same types. I'm fairly certain. I do think Mayan is kind of cool. Monotype Dark. I don't know. I can play around with things and see. Let's see. Ideas. Notepad's called background credit, or whenever I save a bunch of thumbnails that are like people's custom arcs, and I make a little notepad saying like what the link to the site in question is. In case you're wondering what background credit means. I don't know. Also, we got to include my goat Ladybug, Lady of the Unstoppable physical attack with 35 attack. Remember, this is Gen 3 Dark moves are special on a physical attack. Oh, yeah. You're right. And it wasn't the Gen 4 changes yet. You are correct. We're almost done with the print. 95%. We're almost there. Anyway, it's some ideas. I can design a layout on my own time and then, see what we're cooking up here. But these are some of the Pokemon that I would personally lean towards. I think that it's probably, especially with a game like this where it's like you don't go and seek out wild Pokemon, it's just shadow Pokemon as they appear. Most of it is going to be ultimately like, oh, that sounds cool. Maybe I'll put that into my party here as it goes on. Probably what a lot of it is going to be. I don't know. Yep, we've got our 5 options. I've heard that there's a few, but like... Lucky Egg Quest, what the heck? Leave the game. Where's wild Pokemon? Poke Earth Ore? Nope. Mew? If you trade Mew over from Emerald or any other game you traded to, you'll be in for a shock as there is a man in XD that can help your Mew in mysterious ways. You require 5,000 Poke Coupons to do this. After you completed the game, you'll see a guy who asks for a legendary Pokemon that can learn all the attacks. Show him it and he'll ask you a few questions. If you get them right, he'll give you a list of over 100 moves, including some which aren't TMs or move tutors. You can pick only 4, so move wisely. Other questions, answer them, and he'll generate attacks based on your answers. Interesting. There's a wild Pokemon thing here. Mirror B's second chances. What? Johto starters? Much like Ho and Pokemon Coliseum, in this game, when you complete the Mount Battle Challenge, you'll be given a special gift of the Johto first partner Pokemon. Pokemon are typically harder to find during this generation, and they'll come with a special gift of not just an egg move, but one of the Elemental Beam moves that was originally exclusive to the Kanto first partner Pokemon in Fire Red and Leaf Green. Complete the challenge multiple times, you'll be able to acquire all 3. Frenzy Plant, Blast Burn, and Hydro Cannon. Yep. Those 3 there at level 70. Where the heck is the wild Pokemon thing? There's only a few wild Pokemon in this game, as I understand it. Region characters. Go with Togepi. 4th gen Pokemon, what? some of the 4th generation Pokemon are... Some of the 4th generation Pokemon who are going to be the main stars of the upcoming DS games, Diamond and Pearl, seem to have a minor appearance in XD. However, it's not known if they're just there for scenery or if you'll be able to capture them. Oh wow, they didn't update this in a long time. It's not currently known if you'll actually be able to capture them or not. Bonsai and Munchlax. An actually good grass type before Gen 5? Impossible. Trapinch, Aeron, and Sandshrew are 3 that I know for sure of. Oh, that'd be pretty good. I wouldn't mind getting a Flygon. Linkability, Game Boy Advance games there. That's kind of cool. What the heck, man? Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness, Wild Pokemon. Pokemon XD Pokespot. Is that the tab that I was looking for? Unlike in Coliseum, XD has an area where you're capable of battling and capturing wild Pokemon. There are 3 areas. Oasis, Rock Ground, weird name there, Cave, that you can go to, each with wild Pokemon based on the area. They have to be activated by duking in Pyrite Town first. What you need to do, however, in order to lure the wild Pokemon out is leave them food, similar to how in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald you leave Pokesnacks. When you're out and about, you may get a symbol pop up on the screen similar to the one on the left. Now, this means that a Pokemon has arrived at a Pokespot. To check which, open your PDA and have a look, such as the picture to the right. The spots glowing are the ones with Pokemon there. If it's glowing rapidly, chances are a Munchlax is coming to eat your Pokesnacks. However, usually it's not so at your first opportunity, and as soon as possible, go back to the Pokespots and find and battle a wild Pokemon. So yeah, just literal, like, one-off things, like not going into tall grass or anything. And thus, the wild Pokemon appear and you get a chance to capture them. Trapinch is apparently a rare one at the Rock Ground spot. So yeah, the wild ones are Sandshrew, Gligar, Trapinch could be pretty cool. Dragon Ground. Wouldn't mind that. Can't exactly go wrong with an Aggron either. Let's go ahead and say other ideas here. Look, print finished. Dragon / ground. Ideas to keep in mind here. Definitely some ideas to keep in mind. Maybe a Crobat, I don't know. Poison / flying if I'm trying to fill those. Wouldn't mind that. Aggron, I'm pretty sure is Rock Steel, right? Something like that. Yep. Tis indeed. Yeah. Could be interesting there. Gonna add Shifty to the list as well, because yeah, being an actually good grass type is pretty nice. Yeah, I put that... I mentally put that on, but I didn't actually put that on. That's a dual type. It's worth noting. Which would mean I might not necessarily need Houndoom if I've got... Yeah, Grass Dark. So yeah, one way or another, I definitely don't need an Umbreon. Either a Houndoom or a Shiftry or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. There's options. Anyway. So yeah, maybe we'll get up to some of these shenanigans here pretty soon. Yeah, Wild Hoppip. Mirror Bee makes a return! Can't wait to see that. Wait, Hoppip was on the list of the... Yeah, I was about to say, if it just showed a Pokemon that you couldn't even get that way. But yeah, and yeah, we can absolutely rotate. Like, take it as it goes and figure it out here. Like, I just wanted to have a general idea, because I'd want to know how to evolve my Eevee is the thing. I believe there's one more set of Pokemon you can obtain which involves the rare spawns in the wild areas. Anyway, want to see the masterpiece now? Well, here we go. Take that off the build plate here. Put the build plate back. So, someone at Janlan can take home... Well, let's go ahead and get these supports off. That's what I should do quickly. Dang it, they're a little bit hard on there. There we go. That's one. Gotta put some supports under them, because otherwise, like printing in midair, you get filament spaghetti everywhere. And then this middle one here. Go ahead and grab all that. Probably just peel it off by hand-ish there. There we go. Come on. Almost there. There we go. Sports gone. Oh, a little bit on the edge of that foot there. Meh. I can go at that a little bit more precisely later. So, you know, here, let's go ahead and turn off the light as well. Truly very fitting music. Whoops, I'm opening Steam in my light. Whoops, don't turn it back on again. Here it is, in all its glory. It's quite the expression it has, isn't it? Now you can tell what's going on the screen in front of me is changing. God. What the heck even? So, as a reminder, Janland trophies. It's gonna be first. I'll get this glued on my own time there. Kirby Air Riders, Janland 2026. It's gonna be pretty darn cool. The whole elaborate trophy. And then second, third, you get a standalone little Kirby or a little Waddle Dee. That shows that you made it pretty far as well. You made it to the final round, but you came in last. You get this. His facial expression is very, everything happens for a reason. Truly. There was a reason you came in fourth and are bringing me home. Or what I might just do is just say, like, first place gets this, and then the rest, you know, even though that's my intention is, you know, second, third, fourth, is you can just choose second place. Which one do you want? Maybe second place takes this home, and then third place gets this, and fourth place gets this. Who knows? You know, like, leave it up to some choice there. But, you know, say that was my intention, but just say, you know what, second, choose whichever one you want. And then third next, choose whichever one you want. Fourth place, you get whatever's left. And I can give it some novelty as well of, you know, putting a little NFC tag on the bottom of, like, the actual base that I print for it and stuff. Just breaks hard to ensure fourth place prize. So, what layout should I do here? I guess just like this or something or other. Stop using display capture. It's not even complete though, because we need to make the cylinder and the sign. Yeah, you're right, it's not complete. But I don't really want to be awake that much longer, is the thing. Like, I was already kind of stalling for time with doing this here. But, like, you know, I'm gonna have to do some gluing on my own time with this. I can do either some Pokemon Legends Z8 and or maybe some XD Gale of Darkness at Janland before the Kirby tournament, and then show you the finished product. Is what I could do. Just set a reminder to do that part tomorrow, or whenever it's most convenient. I could do it on stream just like with a different game or something like that. But I'm at the point where it's like, yeah, I think I kind of want to quit out on the Pokemon Legends Z8 until Janland here. Which, you know, I mean, if those parts aren't printed during this, it's fine. Maybe I don't print it on my own time. I just print it during, like, Monster Hunter or something like that. I don't know. Whack. Just to do a quick little inventory, though, also, of the current situation with games around here. So, I had to add Kirby Air Riders again because of, like, the whole true final boss and unlocking a final character before Janland. That's done now. Did that. Mega Dimension is in its phase where let's do it with other stuff because it's gonna be a bit of a boring slog. The main part is done. This is very on and off. I'm mostly doing it with family when I see that they're playing, so it's not really a hard playthrough that I'm committing to. No, I have been playing it a decent bit lately. This is really just the last little smidges, the last little cleanup, and then a start-to-finish playthrough of this here, the Dawn of Ragnarok DLC at Janland. This I finished the other day here. I'd never said that I was going to do a full playthrough of this. I was like, I'll play it for a while. I don't know how much farther. We'll see. I might come to the point here soon where it's like, yeah, you know, I got a good sense for what the game is like. I think I'm good now. And quit out. Especially when you consider that I've been gifted a whole bunch of games recently here. Like, you know, the whole, oh, I'm on it right now, Monster Hunter Wilds. Yeah, this was gifted to me here recently, and now I'm playing a whole bunch of that. Lords of the Fallen, that was gifted to me by Mortis. Octopath Traveler 0, that was gifted to me by Mortis as well. So, in terms of upcoming, like, new games, or just new playthroughs I'm gonna do on this channel, my current plan is, like, apart from ones I'm gonna, like, start, like, do start to finish here. Janland, the main plans are Kirby Air Riders Tournament. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance is gonna be my start to finish game playthrough, as I've discussed before. Gonna do the DLC of this start to finish. Gonna do the epilogue that I never did here. Maybe I'll do Xenosaga Freaks, that one niche spin-off game that came out between Xenosaga 1 and 2, so that I do that, like, before I start my playthrough of Xenosaga 2. And I'd like to start Final Fantasy VII Remake, now that I'm done with all the other Final Fantasy stuff. All the other Final Fantasy VII stuff, like that. I'm caught up on all the other games. Now I'm ready to start the remake games. I'm at the ready. So, in terms of new playthroughs that I'm starting around here, most of this is, like, done or in a weird kind of chip away at state. I don't really have currently ongoing games to, like, be continuously playing right now. I guess apart from maybe Monster Hunter Wilds. So, the new things that we're starting coming up here are going to be Final Fantasy VII Remake, first and foremost. Then Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Then, probably Octopath Traveler 0. That's kind of the order that I'm thinking here. That's what makes sense to me. And then, you know, after that, I'll get a sense for, like, what's coming out at this point, and what are things gonna be looking like? Because, yeah, this is just, at this point, chip away at while I'm playing XD. This is showcase 2 really brief things, and then the one long thing that's left I'm doing start to finish at Janland, so that'll be done, like, next weekend anyway. The main thing, and then it's just the tiniest last little bit of cleanup. Chip away at while I'm playing with family. This is done. This I might just be like, yeah, I'm done playing that. So, yeah, I'll start adding some new things. Maybe I'll add 2 things at Janland. Maybe I'll play both the XD and Final Fantasy VII Remake at Janland and be like, hey, this has started 2 new playthroughs. And these are the 2 main things that I'm playing for a while we have side things like Monster Hunter Wilds. Yeah, so it does. And I talked about it for a long time. I think I am gonna try to start getting more on top of playing games that I want to play and less of the play everything that comes out. I don't think I need to play Mario Tennis Fever. I'm not playing Pokemon Pocopia. Screw the stupid game key card thing. Maybe, I don't know. Probably not. These all I'll play. These I'm genuinely interested in. Probably play that too. But yeah, who knows? Maybe there's going to be a shit ton of things revealed during the next Pokemon Presents during Pokemon Day in February. Who knows? But yeah, I actually am getting caught up on, like, some of the things that I want to get done. You know, Assassin's Creed is almost all done. There's going to be 2 more games after this that I'm all caught up on that front. Mario RPGs I'm still a decent way from finishing off. I'm more than halfway through the Final Fantasy VII series. I'm most of the way through the Metal Gear series. After Rising Revengeance, it's basically just Portable Ops, Peace Walker, and 5. Like, so I'm almost done with doing the whole Metal Gear series. You know, I'm well underway with Xenosaga stuff. If I had to list a 4th highest priority thing to start, it's gonna be Xenosaga Episode 2. Would be the 4th one there. You know, I'll get all the Xenosaga stuff done. Like, that's still early on. I've only done Xenosaga Episode 1 right now, but, you know, it's gonna go apace, I'm sure. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Dirt. Hawa. Nowadays, the Mystery Dungeon series is something I've done completely, unless you count the WiiWare games, I guess. You know, that's all done. Like, you know, in the many years that I've been doing this channel, I have actually gotten, like, pretty on top of some of these overarching long-term projects of series I wanted to do. It's actually kind of satisfying, you know? Because I'll tell you what the game is like that I'm playing on, I'm planning on digitally downloading Pokemon Pocopia. Okay. Yeah, let me know. So yeah, Janland next weekend, giving away all this stuff. Tune into the Kirby Air Riders tournament. I think it's going to be really quite funny. Like, anyone watching this on YouTube after the fact, go find wherever my Kirby Air Riders content is, or the Janland 2026 content. Search for either one of those, like, series or whatever. Find the tournament. It's probably going to be really funny. It's probably going to be really good. I'm quite looking forward to it myself. But yeah, I'm finally... I've been saying that I was going to start this for years, and I'm finally at the point where it's like, I'm actually starting it soon. And I actually have, like, the leeway, the freedom to be able to start soon without worrying about a whole bunch of other crap going on. you know, it's gonna be pretty great. Ever considered diving into fan games starring with PMD? I don't think so. I think I would be a little bit intrigued, but I would always think, why would I spend time on doing that when I can, you know, do something like continue to finish off this series, continue to chip away at this series, play another Mario RPG because I want to get all the Mario RPGs beaten one of these days. So I do still have these things that are like higher priority in my mind, where it's like these long-term projects of all these games. It's gonna be more and more satisfying as I get more and more of them chipped off, more of them done. You know, we're allowed to recommend PMD fan hacks. I vote Lonely Roads. That shit is peak. That name sounds familiar. You might have told me about before. Don't recall. But yeah, anyway, just more of the ongoing overarching multi-game series that I've been doing. If I can continue getting on top of those, like, things might be good. We'll see what things are like for this year. I started working full-time September of last year at my current position, and, you know, hopefully that continues on well for the next, you know, however long that ends up being. And, you know, I know that my stream schedule is a lot more limited with the, you know, working full-time and stuff like that. So I don't really like to have a game queue of a bazillion things. I like to have, you know, maybe 1 to 2 main things, and then maybe something on the side. And that's kind of what's going to go on here coming up. It's going to be basically, I think it's going to be Final Fantasy VII Remake that I'm playing alongside XD Gale of Darkness as like my 2 main things. And then I have a whole bunch of side smaller things that are like playing Monster Hunter Wilds with family when I see that they're on and I want to like hop on and play with them. Doing a little bit of the last little smidges of CA while I'm playing, you know, XD Gale of Darkness there. Doing the last 2 little smidges of cleanup of Valhalla. You know, just a whole bunch of little things where it's like, oh yeah, just I'll chip away at things. But the 2 main, like, bulk playthroughs with lots to go through is, gonna be Final Fantasy VII Remake and XD coming up here. And that sounds fun! You know, having a action semi-turn-based, whatever it is with the ATP. I don't know how it works. I haven't played Remake before. The sort of action game going on there, and then the slower, more methodical turn-based game, and then any day that I'm streaming, it's like, do I want to do something more methodical or something like right in the action? And I'll have my choices there. Lonely Roads is a ROM hack that is sort of a reimagining of Sky's story. Okay. It's very good, but the soundtrack picks aren't the best. They reuse I Don't Want to Say Goodbye. It's not supposed to be a regular sad moment song. It's supposed to be emotionally devastating. Yeah, I agree with that. That is what it's meant to be. Anyway, that's the future stuff coming up here. So, it's been some great headway the past couple days here. The last weekend before Janland. Finished off a whole bunch of stuff. Finished off Kirby Air Riders. This game is technically beaten, but there's like post-game and second half of story. This is beaten, but now it's like the slow little grind at the end. This is almost beaten, and the roguelike mode is beaten. This is beaten. I might be at a point where I'm like, yeah, I might be done with that. I've been doing a whole bunch of stuff here. It's been good. Ban ZA, truly. So yeah, that's the plan. So the ZA playthrough isn't done yet. Expect some more of that. Maybe I'll do a little bit of Janland for fun. And, I think we're gonna go straight into this. So, you know, we're not exactly taking a break when it comes to Pokemon stuff. We're going straight into this. But, you know, it's gonna be a completely different type of game, so it's not gonna keep me bored, considering, you know, real-time game with ZA anyway. So, let's go right into this and continue ZA this way with the last little smidges that I have of, ZA remaining, while we play some other new games coming up here, like the Final Fantasy VII Remake games. It's gonna be good. I'm kind of looking forward to the upcoming game stuff that we've got going on here. Should be some good fun. So, yeah. This is all set up for, like, Xenosaga stuff right now. Well, if that's everything for tonight, I shall take my leave. Good night, and may you have dreams of Darkrai turning into Sauron. Oh, I'm sure I will. And tomorrow, maybe I'll see about finalizing this. Maybe I'll print it on stream, but during a different game, because again, me wanting to back away from ZA for now is certainly something. Someone's gonna be taking this home and certainly have some thoughts on the matter. All right. Until next time, see ya, you as well there, Reggie Bump. Appreciate everybody that tuned into the final super important stream of, well, I guess not. I guess the final super important stream of ZA is going to still be Rayquaza there. a sort of final stream of Legend ZA. Also, I was thinking about raiding someone, and I don't know what the heck is up with this, but before I click following to see, like, who's on my follow list that I can, like, raid, it starts out with, like, here's a whole bunch of, like, random people you've never heard of before that are recommended to potentially a raid. What the heck is going on here? There's 4 top streams that Twitch is recommending me to raid, and 3 of the 4, are women with their tits half out, with their stream titles being the top one, I want a boyfriend, follow me, and then, like, heart emojis. The next one, click here if you dare, less than 3 heart, a bunch of heart emojis, exclamation point socials, and then the next one is like, follow me on my main, and then it links a whole bunch of stuff. It's like, my god. Thanks, Twitch. How is this sorting by for me? I've never clicked on a stream like that in my life. Ah, Twitch. That killed my mood. I'm not raiding anyone tonight. See ya later.